Woo! So apparently Rockstar's releasing something of leaks about something on GTA 6. Yay! Well, this might unironically be popular. I mean, there's still people playing GTA 5. I played it for like the first year it came out. Got fucking bored of it. I think I was like a freshman or sophomore in college. I mean, it was alright, but then they realized they could milk the player base. And it doesn't. Here's the thing about the milking their player base. They don't really need everyone to buy into the bullshit and go buy into like the microtransaction and cosmetics. If only like 15% of the people buy the shit, then they're 100% fine with that. Then there's people that spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, the fucking whales on the game. And that's a profit. Like above the $50 that they sold the game at, they can now you just milk the customers of even more money. But other than that, my gripe about this is going to be the artistic expression. Like, what the fuck is? Who the fuck is this? What's this supposed? This guy. Who does he look? He looks like okay. Who's the CEO of fucking Mint Mobile? CEO Mint Mobile. This goofball. How are we gonna do this? How am I gonna get comparative with this? Like, eh? Unironic, look at this. Don't look at this. Look at this. Then look at that. They almost look the same if they had the fucking glasses. If he had the glasses on, eh? What's the fuck his name? Is he gonna tear me apart if I don't know his fucking name? Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, a man looking like Ryan Reynolds came off that fucking ecstasy. And now he's with whoever the hell this is supposed to be. But anyway, after nearly 2 years of waiting since the last update, we finally now know that GTA 6 reveal is on the way. It's just a reveal? Whatever. Rockstar Games announced that the development of GTA 6 was underway back in February 2022, following a sense of infamous gameplay leaks that were from a very early build of the game. Well, I mean, that's usually what leaks are. I mean, people don't take leaks as like canon until the game actually comes out, but it's like for The Last of Us 2, the leaks they were fairly on the nose. And again, YouTube tried to cover up the leaks, tried to they tried to ban people offline for the leaks, but no, people knew. Things on the internet's forever. You can try to scrub the internet, but eh. Here are all the changes the week when related to the game's journalist Jason Shearer leaked information provided by his source that Rockstar Games was preparing to reveal a trailer sometime during early December. Following this report, the developer's hands was seemingly forced and is officially confirmed reports. And that being said, what it's an exciting. I can't fucking read right now. See, my eyes are drying out. That being said, while it's an exciting time to potentially finally see GTA 6 in action, it's perhaps important to keep our expectations lowered. After all, we may end up being treated to a small snippet of gameplay and a logo. Well, see, that's just marketing nowadays. Like, marketing rarely gets you hyped, or at least for like movies or games. Like, they rarely try to hype you up about things you actually care about. Like, they'll gladly tell you, oh, that it's the first female this and that ever. And like they'll gladly tell you the genetics and the pedigree of the main character, but they rarely tell you like the story or interesting plot points. I mean, they'll gladly throw like, oh hey, scenes from other shit in the trailer, like, oh, remember this. There's member berries, woo, to try getting you hyped, but they'll rarely show you like, you know, at least in small snippets, the threats that face that the hero's gonna face. So I'm not too sure about this. And again, I was told that they're removing like stereotypes, they're removing edgy humor, they're removing slurs, they're removing things that made GTA. And I'm like, you know, not all sources of media is supposed to be, sanitized. Like some things are meant to offend you. Like in GTA 4, like everyone was a stereotype, and that was the point. Like, you're telling me in a game where you just go around murdering people, running people over, getting the 5-star cops on your back, doing the up, down, left, right circle shoot to fly up in the air and launch a fucking nuke at LA. You're telling me all that is fine, but God forbid you say a slur. Or God forbid there's a single stereotype. Or God forbid, they get edgy, right? The things that I grew up with, like South Park. And that's just something that doesn't make any sense to me because, again, the point, that is the essence of Grand Theft Auto. If you take that away, it's not Grand Theft Auto. They did this with Saints Row, which was trying to be a competitor for a little bit. With Saints Row, they took all that away, and it failed. But again, I think this game is probably going to be, because again, I said this in my last video, studios now make games for like dads, or for like people who work for a living. They don't make games and try to create or be, you know, try to reinvent the wheel. They're like, no, we're just making these games for normies. But the thing is, the people who actually played the other Grand Theft Autos is like, I'm gonna be like, if I was to play this, I'd be looking for this and looking for all that stuff because again, I grew up on things like South Park. I grew up on edgy jokes and humor and things that were meant to offend the senses. They weren't meant to offend you individually as a person. They were meant to offend your senses. That's the type of art I grew up with. But nowadays, you're not allowed to do that. Because, God forbid, people on Twitter who do not play the games, who do not play these games, who do not buy these merchandise, but they have a mouse and a keyboard, and they go, oh, how dare you? Like, God forbid you make them mad. There's just, yeah, if you're familiar with the history of Rockstar games, other than those gameplay leaks, then you'll know that the developer is prone to the odd leak or two, and it seems that the release window for GTA 6 has been circulating the internet. And another thing, apparently this thing's going to be probably over $70, because I've heard that they're going to try to match the price of the game with the recent projected revenue that GTA 5 made. So, in other words, don't be surprised if this game is like, what, $80, $90, $100 off the bat. I mean, it sucks, but that's how they're calculating this shit. And I wouldn't be surprised. Now, they're probably going to, and they're obviously going to have like the gold edition, this, that edition, but again, I wouldn't be surprised if it was like $90 at a base. Because again, apparently the people doing these calculations don't actually know what retail prices are. Like nowadays, games should be cheaper, right? but because you skip the physical tap, you skip having to sell. Like everything's online, and with the exception of a lot of overbloated companies where a game takes like what several $1 million, tens of millions of dollars to make, and they're now demanding even more money. Like again, and they take like years. Like this is 2 years after the last game. Well, no, the last GTA 5 came out in 2016, 2015. So now this long, and now they're just started making the game. So they're fine sucking all the people of money back then up until now, but now they're starting on the game. And again, I believe it's going to be just a shell of what GTA 5 is, because that's the point. You strip away, you take things away, you strip away, you try making the product as cheap and as shittily made as possible, but demand the most money. That's the thing. That's the point. But and again, I'm not gonna play this game. Like I don't think I can even. Yeah, you'd have to pay me. You'd have to pay me to play this shit. Because I know that it's not going to be the same. It's not going to be what made GTA 5. Like, well, what if I want to be offended, right? What if I want to be offended? And in my previous video, that Coffin of Andy and Lele game, as though I'm sick and fucking tired of hearing about it, and I don't care for walking simulators, I'm still interested in the game. But there's just no interest I can gain. Like, I know what they're gonna do. Like, I'm calling this. Like, they're gonna remove all the things they're gonna remove all the tropes, all the stereotypes, all the sexism, all the racism. They're gonna remove all that. And it's just gonna be, like, Call of Duty only with vehicles. Which doesn't sound bad, but it's not GTA. But anyway, that's all I have to say about this. Peace.